welcome to another edition of Mike Finds Things. We're still going through those boxes I bought last week. There were 5 boxes of records I purchased in one lot off Craigslist. Today we're just going to do the highlight reel. I actually went through box 4 and 5 yesterday. It wasn't too pretty. There was a lot of scratched and damaged records in there. But I got a stack of like the good stuff. So we're going to go through that. That way we're not doing another video where it's like 45 minutes of me going through records that nobody really cares about. But I just kind of like have a highlight reel here, if you will. Also, I know some people subscribed that were over on my car channel because I posted a video on my car channel yesterday, which I'll put a link in the description if you like cars. Subscribe to that channel. It's actually doing really well right now. My last few videos, except for one I did about my Vespa, have actually blown up pretty well, and we got some great events coming up on there that I'll be attending, and hopefully I'll be working on some of my project cars as soon as it starts cooling down, because it's been in the hundreds lately, and I just can't be outside working on stuff in that sort of temperature, unfortunately. And also I did pick up that other box, or that other lot of records. There was a lot of reissue stuff in there. There was a lot of original label stuff, a lot of stuff even in picture sleeves. I did file a lot of that away. I probably shouldn't have. I should have filmed a lot of it, but I've still got a bunch of them I haven't gone through yet. A lot of stuff that's out of the sleeves, that's a little bit scratched, but stuff that still plays, so stuff people would still want, especially original label stuff. The reissues mostly were in mint condition, which I might even do a video on reissues and different labels, because they're not really highly collectible, but they're great for jukebox guys like me. I've got a lot of jukeboxes because you get that AA side, as I've said in the past. So without further ado, we're going to go into basically the highlight reel of box 4 and 5 of that lot I picked up. Okay, so here we go. This is basically a highlight reel of what I found in box 4 and 5 of that last stash of records. Unfortunately, I think that was probably of all the stashes of records I bought, except for maybe one. I bought one small lot of records for $30. I don't know. This was like 6 months ago, and there was like there was some bad stuff, but there was like some cool doo-wop in that stash. That one I probably didn't find that much good stuff, but I definitely got my money's worth. This one was quite, this lot was quite a bit more, but I did get my money's worth definitely out of it. And so here's the highlight reel of box 4 and 5. So we're gonna start out. I found a Jackie Ross Selfish One. This is a Northern Soul tune, and it was actually a big hit. And but it's and I don't think that's the original label. I think this was like the second label it was issued on, from what I could tell. But that one's a good find for the Northern Soul collection. This one is from 1966. This is how I kind of label them when I make notes on some of the records. I'll Make It Easy by the Incredibles. That's kind of like a lowrider soul oldie, but the B-side, Crying Heart, is Northern Soul. So it's kind of got a good A and B side there going, because I think even I'll Make It Easy was on one of the East Side Story lowrider compilations, one of the vinyl East Side Story compilations that came out. This was a neat find. This is James and Bobby Purify. So if you remember, their big hit was I'm Your Puppet. Let Love Come Between Us, and that's a Northern Soul tune. And this one's actually in really nice condition. So that was definitely a great find to find that. I found Oh How Happy by Shades of Blue. It was a big hit, but it's got sort of like a Northern Soul beat to it. A lot of these have the little sticker like they were in somebody's record boxes. Unfortunately, a lot of people put those stickers on there when they would do the record, put them in record boxes. This one's in really nice condition. Looks like it's hardly ever been played. So that was a great find to find that. This is a Martha Reeves and the Vandellas and on Gordy. Now, as I've mentioned before, the thing with your 60s Motown records, you got to check the B-sides on them, because usually the B-side is better than the A-side. It happens a lot on any of your Motown labels. So Soul, Gordy, Motown, Tamla, VIP. I can't remember. I don't know how many different labels Berry Gordy had back then, but the B-side, You've Been in Love Too Long, is a Northern Soul song. So that was a great find, and I believe this one was actually in decent. This one's actually in really good condition, so definitely playable and a cool song. Found this one. This one, I actually put it in a plastic. It's Beau Brummel's Laugh Laugh. I think I remember, didn't they like perform that on like the Flintstones or something? But it's in really good shape. Sort of borderline garage. It's garage, but it was a massive hit. It's a great one, a great '60s song. It's good to have one in good condition. Probably Donovan fans, of course. Donovan's records are usually like extremely common. Sunshine Superman. So probably, I'm guessing that was probably, if not his biggest pop hit, maybe his second. But still a great one. Still keeping in the '60s with a little bit of psychedelic thing going on there. Here's a copy of Wild Night, Van Morrison, in the company sleeve, and then the guy put a plastic sleeve over it, and that looks like it's never been played. Huge hit, but a good one to keep in the collection anyway, or if I feel like selling it. I mean, I'm sure it's an extremely common record. Spanky and Our Gang in a picture sleeve. Unfortunately, he wrote on it. This is one of the ones he wrote his catalog numbers on. Spanky and Our Gang. It's in good shape. I don't know. That'll probably wind up being up for sale because not something I'm really that interested in keeping. But it's cool at least to have a picture sleeve, even if it does have a lot of writing on it. Unfortunately, that was a thing back in the day. Especially, I think this guy might have been a DJ or did this professionally because of the cataloging he did. The Miracles, All That's Good, with Ooh Ooh Baby Baby on the B-side. Actually, I think that is the A-side, but he put the sticker. Some of them he put the sticker on the B-side. Great '60s Tamla Motown. I can't remember if I checked the B-side. I usually check the B-sides on anything Motown, Tamla, Soul, VIP, any of those labels. Anything Soul, I'll check. That's from the '60s. I'll check the B-sides. Canned Heat, Going Up the Country. Can't imagine it's a rare one. Although this is when you were getting more into the era of album rock. So most people bought albums. They didn't buy singles in that era. So a lot of times these were jukebox ones. But this one looks like it's in pretty good condition. So probably something you'd be more likely to find on an LP than a 45. This one's during the Pacemakers, probably was a return or whatever it is with the hole in it. The Way You Look Tonight, with Girl on a Swing on a Lori label. He put his catalog number on there, unfortunately, again. This one's in really nice condition. Great for British Invasion fans. Mitch Ryder, Sock It To Me Baby. I have to look up whether this is the original label because I've got this song. I got this record with this label. I got a few copies of that with that style label. So I have to look up which one was the original and which one was maybe like a second press. Not a uncommon record, but it's a lot of people like Mitch Ryder, so definitely something someone would want. Speaking of Mitch Ryder, here's more Mitch Ryder with Breakout and I Need Help. And these blue labels that are like that with the inset, there's a few companies I found that did it. This one's got the hole drilled in it. These labels would just turn black very easily, or you can't even read. I've got one where you can't even read. I had to use Shazam to figure out what song it was. But this one's in really nice condition, other than it has the hole drilled for the return. Nice Mitch Ryder. That'll go in my garage collection. This one needs a sleeve. I do have a stack of sleeve. You can go on Amazon if you don't know. I'm sure most of you, if you're watching, if you're into records, know that you can pick up sleeves for pretty cheap. You get a giant box of them, fairly cheap, and it protects your records. Danny Kaye, not sure why I put this one aside. The Thing. So yeah, I put it aside because I thought I could sell it, maybe sell it for a few dollars because it's in such good condition. Does have a little hiccup there. I might have to. That looks like it's just dirt, so I could probably clean that. But let's put that one in a sleeve so it's protected. This one is the Robs. I believe they're a garage band. I think I have another Robs in here that I noted was garage. And some of these, it was pretty late when I went through these last night, so some of these I just didn't. I think I'd ran out of sleeves that I put aside where I was going through them. But that one definitely needs a sleeve. This is another reissue. This one's Roy Orbison, In Dreams. Unfortunately, he did put a sticker on there, but this is not an original anyway. In Dreams with the Crowd on the B-side. Originally released. It tells you when it was originally released on Monument. Golden Series, it's a reissue. Great one for a jukebox, though, because you're not worried about messing up an original copy. Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders with Long Time Coming and it's just a little bit too late. Neat 60s rock, in really good condition. Unfortunately, again, he wrote on the label. The only thing I think is he picked up a lot of these with the holes in them. I mean, this being LA, you could probably find returns and promo copies and things easier than just about anywhere, maybe other than New York. Falling by Roy Orbison, Monument label. Unfortunately, he did write in marker on this one as well. But really good condition. That one, of course, Roy Orbison. Sweet Talking Guy, an original Lori label. Fortunately, he wrote his catalog number kind of small on this one by the Chiffons. I'm kind of surprised I didn't go grab a sleeve for that one because that one's pretty clean. So we're going to pop that one in a sleeve. Obviously a big hit for the Chiffons, if you know Oldies. We got Wilson Pickett for Better or Worse, and I'm Gonna Cry. Not a Wilson Pickett you'd see very often. It's in really nice condition, so I'm gonna probably be hanging on to that one because I don't believe I have a copy of that. Smiling Faces Sometimes, Indisputable Truth on Gordy. I probably have several copies of this, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just gonna have to compare it with my other ones and see if this is a better copy or not before I decide if I'm gonna sell it or not. This is definitely a reissue, so it's like on a 70s MCA, late 70s, early 80s MCA label. Little Eva, the Locomotion, with He Is the Boy on the other side. Again, this actually should go in my reissue pile, so I'm going to put that over there. I've got a whole box of reissues. This is what I meant by those blue labels like that. I don't know what company pressed these, but here's a Little Eva. Where Do I Go? With Keep Your Hands Off My Baby. As you can see, they just, for some reason, these labels just wear into black very easily. That's one of the more legible ones I've seen. The vinyl's like perfect. And I got a few of them where you can't read it, like I said, but the vinyl's like perfect. So, unfortunately, that was the case with those. Los Bravos, Black is Black. Kind of a garagey rock tune. This one's in good condition. Probably needs a cleaning. I've got a couple copies of this. For some reason, it's in an MGM sleeve, but the guy already put stickers and catalog numbers on it. I have to check, see if this is better than the other ones I have, and then we'll kind of go from there. I got another stack here. Let me grab those. And here's Stay, Maurice Williams and the Zodiacs, Flashbacks. I think those, I have to check. I always thought the Flashbacks were reissues, so I better just double check that. Still, it's in really good condition. Will play no problem. Actually, I found another copy of this on a different label, but it's in worse condition. That came out of that other collection I had. Timmy Euro, so a little bit of soulness going on there. The Love of a Boy. Okay, you can barely read it. The label's kind of worn. This was a big hit. Now I got a couple Keith records. Now this was 98.6. Massive hit. This was like his biggest hit. Not something I'm really terribly interested in, but it's in really good condition. Somebody that just is collecting oldies, stuff they remember. That would be a great one. But his other record he put out is Ain't Gonna Lie, and that has a Northern Soul beat to it, so the Northern Soul guys want these. Not worth a ton of money, but it's still a Northern Soul tune. So even though this was the big hit, this is probably the one that's more wanted, I would say. Peggy Lee from 1958, The Comeback. That one's on a Decca label, has a catalog from a record box sticker, but the vinyl's in really good condition, so always good to have some Peggy Lee. Here's a Memory Lane reissue of the Everly Brothers. Memory Lane was Barnaby's reissue. All I Have to Do Is Dream with Claudette on the B-side. So probably a 60s reissue of the Cadence era Everly Brothers, if you will, before they went to Warner Brothers. So I should probably put that in the reissue pile because it's a good A-B side. Leslie Gore records are extremely common. Huge hits. Judy's Turn to Cry. That was a massive hit. Original pressing of it. Someone again would want it. Not perfect, but it's in really nice condition otherwise. one's from 1969, My Pledge of Love. This was actually a hit on Wand Records, original label. Unfortunately, the same guy wrote his stuff on there that we've seen the last, I don't know how many boxes we've been through. My Pledge of Love. That one's in good condition. Probably something's worth a few bucks. Not a lot of money. I don't think any of these are really high dollar records. Maybe some of the Northern Soul if I actually look them up. I don't think I'm gonna look up all these because it's just been kind of hard. This one was interesting. I could only find copies of this on 78. So this is from 1951. It's a jazz record. Smooth Sailing by Arnett Cobb and his orchestra. Like I said, I could only, and then I believe it was released later on Columbia. It was re-released on Columbia. I could find the 78 copies online. I cannot find the 45 copy, so I have no way to value this. And it's definitely something I need to look into to see what the value is on this one, since I can't even find a 45 copy of it online. Out and About, Boyce and Hart. They had a few hits back then. This is definitely something, again, another return one. I guess this guy must have had a connection to buy those. And he unfortunately put his catalog numbers on everything. These could have even come out of a radio station, because radio stations used to do that too. Mother Lode, When I Die. I believe that was somewhat of a hit. And that one's in really good condition. The Montanas, You've Got to Be Loved. This is the 60s, kind of like a softer, it's not really garage, but it was a hit. I got a bunch of these Montanas records. I have no idea why. I think that was like their only hit though. Temptations, Psychedelic Shacks are getting into like the late 60s Temptations. This one's in good condition. I don't think I checked either I didn't check the B-side, which I should on all these, like I said before, but or it wasn't in Northern Soul, because a lot of times the B-side's like Northern Soul on some of these Motowns. Another Temptations, Cloud 9, again in really good condition, definitely playable. Obviously people love Motown. I love Motown. Who doesn't love Motown? If you don't love Motown, just go find another channel, because there's probably going to be a lot of Motown on this channel. Jay and the Techniques, Apple Peaches Pumpkin Pie, and this one's in really good condition. Of course, it has a catalog number and a hole in it. I like that. That's a great, happy 60s oldies tune. Got a good beat to it. This was Ton Rundgren's band before he went solo. This is Runt, We Gotta Get You a Woman. Not sure if there's any real value to it. I didn't really look up the value on this one, but it's in really good condition. Neat piece of history, being Todd Rundgren before the solo stuff. It's even written by Todd Rundgren. Another Jay and the Techniques, Keep the Ball Rolling. That was a big hit. This has got a good dance beat as well. You could probably even get away with playing that at a Northern Soul club or something, because I think they actually do play that. Here's the Marmalade, getting into late 60s, Reflections of My Life in really good condition. This one didn't have a sleeve on it. Sometimes you find them without sleeves, and they're actually in really nice condition. Then you find ones with even original picture sleeves and they're destroyed, so you never know what you're going to get. I used to tend to not buy ones if a lot of them were out of the sleeve. Now I've learned my lesson, because one of my most expensive records I own on 45 came out of a box that had no sleeves on any of the records. The Wonder Who, this was actually Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's Don't Think Twice, kind of sung in a high-pitched voice. You should probably look it up if you want to hear it. You've probably heard it before if you listen to a lot of oldies radio back in the day. But it's Don't Think Twice, Wonder Who. Like I said, it's a Bob Dylan song done by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons, but they didn't release it under Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Condition's not super amazing, but still an interesting piece of history. So that's kind of an oddball record. Left Bank, Walk Away Renee. Just a good 60s, like, slower song. A little bit soulful, so that one should be in a sleeve, and this is in really good condition. Came out, obviously, the same collection with the numbers written on everything. Krabby Appleton and Go Back. I didn't write anything. I believe this was a garage song. I think this is before I went and grabbed my pen and started, making notes. For some reason I was just in the mood to go through some records, and I started doing it. There, Paul Revere and the Raiders, Don't Take It So Hard. Some of Paul Revere's stuff is pretty garagey. Some of it is getting a little bit more poppy. It's always good to hang on to these. This one's in really nice condition. Of course, there's a lot of Paul Revere and the Raiders. He pops up a lot. Usually it's the hits, though. It's the bigger hits that pop up. Okay, so I realized I totally goofed. I had another stack of records from the box 4 and 5 that I went through last night. And there's some good stuff in there, too. So we're going to leave this one at this nice digestible length that you could watch. And we're going to go into the second edition of box 4 and 5. This is getting really confusing. In the next video, and there's a lot of good stuff in there. So leave a comment as some of your favorite records, some interesting stuff you might have seen in the video. Be sure to like, subscribe. We need subscribers since this is a brand new channel. I think we're at 7 subscribers currently. 2 of them are me. So that's probably not a good thing. But until next time, I'll be seeing you.